And welcome to tonight's Sawdust Talk. I'm going to be hosting for you tonight. I'm TJ, and we've got Erik Pennington with Designs by Red Raven joining us this evening, and I believe the rest of the cool kids are going to slowly be filtering in. Greetings, Ed. You are viewer number 1. Dan Woodworking is viewer number 2. Hello.
I don't even see you on here yet.
You can try refreshing. Look at this. Jason Lambiris and Caleb Wright Events, Vandals Wood Creations. Look at all you cool kids all piling in at the same time. That's the good stuff that I like seeing. That's right, Ed. If you ain't first, you last. I don't know how far the delay is from when you send that. Dan, greetings. How are you? Braden should be popping in here in a minute. And look at this. We got our friends from Red Leg Custom Woodworks in here. Island Fusion Woodcraft is in the house. Hey, there's Braden. Boop. Fresh. Does it say, are you looking for Sawdust Talk to be live or me? Oh. Lumberox is here. Huzzah! Okay, I accepted. Why come not in video? Braden, where are you? Oh man, do we have to start this over? This is going to be an awesome episode, Ed. You're correct. But it appears we're already having technical difficulties, and those are the best kind of starts. All right, Braden, I'm going to cancel your invitation. You need to log off and log in again, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, no, you're probably going to end up jumping over here with me anyway. Oh, there we go. All right, Instagram does have problems. Look at this. Maybe. 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 We have a spinning wheel of doom.
I see you.
I cannot see you. Now I see you. Look at how handsome you are.
Hey, buddy.
Oh my God, is the lag that bad? Okay, yeah, put that away, man.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're going to have to improvise just a little bit, and we're going to scoot the camera back. And maybe
You guys
come over here. You want to be Bert or Ernie?
You guys just
Bert. Okay, I'll be Ernie. That's perfect.
Look deep into each other's eyes.
Yeah, so we had 2 phones going at the same time just a minute ago, and the lag and delay in the space was
Like 6 seconds.
yeah, it was real bad. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna be Bert and Ernie.
So instead of 4 separate screens like normal, we've got 2 for 3. Man, it wouldn't be Sawdust Talk if we didn't have some sort of Instagram live issue.
Right,
That
but
should just be our intro.
it appears that we can actually see somebody put a question into the chat, and is assuming that one of us can see the questions in the chat. Rustic Lumber Store is here. Huzzah! But yeah, as long as the questions populate, we're going to be in awesome shape. And Erik and I just got.
You know, we could have taken a piece of tape and drawn a line between them.
Oh my God.
Has
Me too.
anybody else tried the rustic lumber finish? It's like a Rubio monocoat, similar type hard finish.
No, but I want to go to there. Teach me, Rustic Lumber.
It's cheaper than Rubio, and I used it on a couple pieces of furniture, and I loved the finish.
Can you buff it?
Yeah, oh, you can buff it, you can rub it, you can squeegee it, you can do whatever you want.
Ooh, Rustic Lumber, reach out to Sawdust Talk, and we'll frickin' pump your stuff. It's going to be sweet. Hey, look, have you heard that bird is the word? I'm so proud of you, Ed. You have asked a question, and we saw it. Yes. Wood Whisperer video was awesome. Did a hard wax oil. Very cool. Okay. Look at this. And Caesar B Woodworks is here. That's wonderful. All right, kids. Well, we got 13 people in the chat. Braden, is anybody else going to be joining us this evening, or is it just the awesome threesome?
It's the 2 for 3 special here.
That is super rad. Okay. So we can get the show rocking and rolling. Boys and girls, I'm TJ with TJT Woodworks based in St. Louis. I do a whole bunch of turning on the lathe, do a little bit of metal work, do some 3D printing. Yeah, I would just be comfortable saying that I am a maker, and I make stuff. Braden, you want to introduce yourself to the cool kids in the audience?
I'm Braden with Little Bug Woodworking. I do a little bit of this. I've got some CNC stuff. I do some laser. If it uses wood or something else, I'm usually dumb enough to try and make it. So works out okay.
Perfect. Eric?
Buddy. Well, I'm Erik with Designs by Red Raven. I definitely am a wood turner. I like to make furniture. I dabble in a little bit of working. Yeah, I guess I can just say maker.
Nice.
Seems like there's a theme going on here.
Yeah, so you might notice, for those of you watching us, that we do have the host and the guest in the same place at the same time. Yeah, you can imagine that we're not right next to each other. Erik had to deliver a beautiful piece of furniture that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, I'm sure. And yes, Ed, did you know that I make bowls? And he was delivering it only about an hour away from my house. And so since he was on the road, I had him over here, and we're turning together. It's like Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore in Ghost.
I'm not leaning on your shoulder.
That's okay, man. I'll stand behind you.
Who's reaching around to hold the tool?
Well, Eric's got short arms, so I have to reach around him. It's a logistics thing, but
yeah. A little guy. It's okay.
Yeah. So, Erik, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into turning, and I'm going to close that cabinet.
Okay, so, well, honestly, about 4 years ago, I started building up my wood shop. I literally started with just a table saw and a miter saw, and just kind of kept going from there, just building stuff like 2x4s. I'd say probably about a good 8 months in, okay, I'm going to say this, but this will circle back. My brother Carl had moved over with me, and he was a machinist and always talking about the lathe and everything. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I know about wood lathes and stuff like that, but I never messed with one. So I went ahead and bought one for me and him to play with. And very quickly did I outgrow it. I ended up buying a Jet 1221. FedEx decided to mess up and actually sent my first one to the fraudulent department, so I ended up with 2 for the price of 1. It was fake. Yeah, it was fake. And anyway, so just kind of, fast forwarding a little bit, talking about that piece of furniture that he mentioned. So yesterday was actually mine and my brother Carl's birthday. I turned 33 yesterday. Yeah, I look good, I know. Anyway, so this table, it was made out of sweet gum and cherry. And it was all, slabbed up. I didn't slab it myself, but my pawpaw had actually gotten me the wood, which was great. My dad got me the sweet gum, so I didn't have to pay for any of the wood. That was awesome. And took the cherry. I turned a big pedestal and then did, wood joinery feet. And I even extended the sweet gum slab with cherry offcut from the spindle. And then I did a mother of pearl inlay on the top. I wish I had a picture to show y'all, but unfortunately I do not. And I don't know. It might. Do you think it would show up on the phone throughout the?
Maybe, but they can also check out Starbond's site.
Yeah, you can check out Starbond's site. Look up you might have to scroll down a little bit, or shoot, just get on my page and scroll down a little bit. You'll see the whole build process. But yeah, no. So my brother Carl ended up buying that table, and I was able to deliver that little wind lathe to him yesterday, and just so by luck, he lives about an hour away from here. It's like, hey, 5-hour drive up, might as well stay. So that's my story.
Nice.
Short, sweet, to the point.
But yeah, so you are a spindle turner for the most part.
For the most part, yes. I turn a lot of handles for. Actually, I turn a lot of gong handles for Deep Space Soundscapes. And he finished making the mallets for the gong mallets. He does a lot of sound baths and stuff like that. And yeah, of course, I really would like to get more into furniture making. I got another table that I've started since this previous one, but yeah, definitely more of a spindle turner than a bowl turner. That's for sure.
That's why we work together so well.
So I heard a lot of words there that I recognize individually. What is a deep soundscape gong?
Okay,
mallet.
Deep Space Soundscape. So you know the big old round gongs, okay. You can actually play those to make different harmonies, and they utilize those for what's called a sound bath. It's kind of like a spiritual healing type deal.
So, okay, so how did you get into making those? I mean, that's not just something that you're like, I need one from Target, but I'm going to get one locally made.
Right. Well, actually, I don't know if y'all know who Luke in the Garage is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, John from Deep Space reached out to him, and Luke gave him my contact. And this was about over a year and a half ago, and we've been we've been business partners ever since.
Gonging around.
Well, he gongs around. I turn around.
So what's the difference between gong mallet and like a regular mallet? Like, are they like really long or?
I think the longest one that we made is about 14 inches.
Okay.
So a lot of them are really like, very utilized by, just the hand wrist motion. It shouldn't have to take a lot. We're not trying to sound the drums of war or anything here. So. So we will make a gong mallet the size of this shop,
yes,
and send it to him and be like, you put a head on this.
That's right.
And then put it out front to be part of your sign.
I'm gonna
big enough.
Blast my garage door.
Yeah, it broke. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the early months of wood turning before we dive into the fact that you are posting 2 to 3 reels a day. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
but
that.
I want to hear about the follies.
The what?
The follies, the pitfalls, the learning experiences.
All right. I got a story that I have not told anybody. So if you were listening in live, I see we got 9 people. More of y'all better start coming in if y'all want to hear this. So it was after I got my first jet. So let me back up a little bit. When we first started on the wind lathe, we were just turning like magic wands because it just went between centers. I didn't have the money for a chuck yet, and that is the grippy thing that spins onto the lathe that holds the piece. So I didn't have one of those yet. So we were very limited by what we can do, and obviously first starting to learn, I was, learning traditional. We didn't have carbide, so it wasn't just easy. But anyway, so about a month later, I got the jet in, and then probably about another 2 weeks later, I got my first chuck. Well, this thing weighs about 4 pounds, just to clarify. This is a very heavy chuck. It's not my Nova that weighs nothing. Anyway, so I put a square blank in there, and my first flaw was I didn't put it in the chuck exactly right. Good thing I was wearing a face shield, because the second that I started, this thing flew off and just knocked me right in the forehead. Mistake number 2, I was going way too fast. Like, my normal turning speed really does not exceed 2,200 RPMs, and that's if I'm really heavy in, like some, spindle work. Anything else, I'm really not going, more than like maybe 1,500 RPMs. I had this sucker all the way at turned all the way up. It was about 3,600 RPM. Well, after the piece flew off and hit me in the head, didn't really hurt, I quickly shut off the lathe, not thinking anything about it. As soon as I turned it off, it shut right off. The chuck kept spinning. And, buddy, it unspun itself, landed on the bed of the lathe, jumped down about this close to my foot, took off across my shop before hitting my wife, beeline the other way, hit the wall with massive force. I looked at myself, at my wife, made sure she was okay first. She was good. I reevaluated my situation for about a split second and said, nope. I went and grabbed that chuck. I went and found that piece of wood. I put it back on, except for this time I made sure I double made sure the chuck was actually on right. I then made sure my piece was in right. I then made sure I had the tailstock up while roughing. And I then did not turn it all the way up, and I made a successful bottle stopper. After realizing that my pants were actually not brown, I realized, hey, a lesser man would have stopped right then and there and gave it up. I did not.
The story of perseverance is amazing.
Yeah, call me a lesser man, because that story right there makes me just not want to start.
It was scary, but I did everything wrong. Let's not forget that.
But still succeeded, and that's what's important.
Yeah. It was like, okay, let's try again. You know,
I'm only laughing because I've done some of the same shit.
You guys can't.
So I had a tool brake snap right in two. It was a inexpensive scraper, and it happened, and I heard it ricochet against three things in my shop, and I didn't see it again for like 7 months, the piece that was missing off of it. And it's not because I didn't look. It was just gone. It may have been embedded in something or slid underneath. I don't know, but I remember holding the broken tool in my hand and going, oh, man. It's time for a break. I'm going to stop for about 10 minutes.
Show of hands, who deals with woodshop gremlins? They come in and they move shit all around all the time.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Your woodshop gremlin just grabbed something shiny. You're like, ooh, shiny.
I know, I
get it. That's
but
the best advice that's the best advice that anybody could possibly give anybody working as a maker is the second something breaks, immediately walk away. 10 minutes at
10
bare
minutes
minimum, if not for the night. You hit 2 mistakes in like a 15-minute period, you're done for the night.
Yep.
I have had that happen with the CNC more times than I can count.
Yeah, no, deadline be damned. You're really going to miss that deadline if you're in the emergency.
But hold on a second, though. That chuck flew off at me and probably about took my head off. Dude, and I got it, and I picked it right up. I didn't take no time at all. Like, it wasn't, but like maybe the next, 15 minutes went by and boom, I had something turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the beauty of turning.
Well,
Chuck
Project's only take an hour.
Hits your wife, and yet 15 minutes later, you still have something turned. So, still current wife. She's the real.
I think I was on some pretty good drugs or something. I mean, I don't know. It was something. I don't know.
But no, Beth is awesome. His wife is a delight. So yeah, and still around.
Still around.
Despite being struck with a chuck at high school.
Oh, she was not struck with the chuck. It beeline left, right, 2 inches before her foot. Yeah. No, it almost hit me, and it almost hit her, and decided, boom, wall it went.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. I'm not going to lie. I was honestly embarrassed about that story, and I laugh about it so much now because every time I look at that itty bitty little mark in that lathe bed, it just reminds me. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. When learning anything, because I'm a fully self-taught maker, everything that I know that anybody sees me do on Instagram, I taught myself. I may have had, some minor instruction or whatever, somewhere, here or there and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, that's the biggest thing is you can't let the scary things stop you. I mean, obviously, if you cut your thumb off, you're not about to get right back on the table saw. You're going to go to the hospital first.
Oh, here we go with the
did I just open up a can of worms here?
Yeah.
So, so you bring up Instagram. You've got about 7,700 followers. You have over 1,100 posts. I think you've posted more in the last 24 hours that you and I have been following each other than anybody else. What's your strategy with social media? You know, how are you doing this? And I've noticed a certain type of reel that you post a lot of. I want to hear about that.
Okay. So you're talking about the AI videos. So maybe before I get into those per se. Oh, thanks, buddy. Twin. So with Instagram, a lot of people go into it, you know, thinking, okay, I'm going to be completely myself. You know, I'm going to do what I want. And yes, absolutely, you got to do that. Because for one, if you don't have a niche and you're just kind of all over the place, then that's one thing that can hurt you. I have built myself up to enough to where somebody sees me dabbling my hands in something, they're like, oh, he's making something, you know. I've got myself known as kind of a maker, you know, just kind of all around. And it took a while. And one thing that I can suggest doing for any new accounts is, yes, post every day, post multiple times a day, reach out to other people, you know, show other people engagement, use hashtags. Don't underestimate the power of hashtags. That is literally SEO all the way for Instagram alone. But you also want to focus on a little bit of keywords too, like in your descriptions and stuff like that. I see a lot of people post, they don't, you know, put any descriptions in and maybe just hashtags, and it hurts them, you know. You know, the algorithm does look at what you type in. And so, but anyway, so with that, you know, being said, that ultimately helps, even being in the stories. But with these new videos, so I noticed something that was kind of trending. It was the deform AI. And, you know, in the stable diffusion where it, you know, you start something and it just sends you into a whole nother world. It's trending. What can I say? So I decided to captivate on it. I actually got a buddy who keeps telling me to stop, but I'm not going to. Yeah. You know, they're fun, but you know, they can be a little tough. But the first time that I saw one, it was the one that everybody saw. He's jumping across like into a bed, and then, you know, it sends you on a nice trip. It took me weeks to find the app that was actually able to support this, and then I finally found it. I do have to pay to make these, so that's just kind of something about it. But no, they're trending, and I haven't seen any of them where makers are utilizing the AI thing, and so it's been really drawing a lot of attention. And you know, it's just the next trending thing. You know, it probably will be, it'll be something else soon. You know how it goes.
At least it's not people screaming chicken wing at you. That one I could go with that. I don't understand why my phone kept saying chicken wing at me, but it did for like 2 weeks.
Okay, what? Please,
seriously, it was some weird thing that the algorithm must have thought, I just love this.
So you were getting a lot of stuff that was just chicken wings?
No, it was just somebody screaming chicken wing over and over again.
Well, they got a niche, and that right there, so that right there actually proves the point. There is an account on Facebook called A Pile of Gravel. All they do is they post a picture of a pile of gravel somewhere every day, and they got like 100,000 followers. It is insane. Right. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, keeping it simple is usually the best bet. And especially with reels, you know, you want to keep them kind of, you know, short-esque, I guess, you know. Because when I first started on Instagram, I wanted to do the whole, like, you know, fulfilling, you know, thing, whatever. I'm not going to lie, I suffer a lot of bad depression and anxiety. And so Instagram was kind of supposed to help me get kind of away from that. And I was terrified of being in front of the camera. Like, back 4 years ago, I would not be right here right now. I'd be, like, right here. Like, yeah, Todd, so what's up, buddy? Yeah. I was terrified. I think I am an ugly dude that looks good. And so that had a very big thing on my,
confidence?
So, yeah, self-confidence, yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like Instagram actually helped me kind of build self-confidence. Yeah, sure, okay, doing goofy stuff for the likes or whatever. You know, and I've gotten hate before where it's like, dude, why are you dancing? Why are you being goofy? You know, what's up with that? Like, yo, I got comfortable, you know, and I'm in my comfort zone when I'm on the camera. You know, it's fun. Yeah, honestly, if you're having fun, that's what makes you a winner at this, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I
Sorry,
think
kids.
that's kind of the important thing with just about anything too. Is I mean, you can't have fun all the time, but if you're not having fun most of the time, then what's the point?
Right? Right? I mean, how stressful is it being a maker for you?
Not really.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't hardly post these days very often, but I think we're going to try and fix that this weekend, right? Because now I have a fellow Turner in the shop. So, yeah, I believe photos and videos have already been taken this evening.
They already have, but that's kind of the whole point of what I said. It's not stressful at all when it's something you enjoy doing, and with starting all this, I guess I don't know. It turned into something I enjoy doing.
So
I can dig.
what's the
Um,
app called?
Simple. I did not hear you.
What's the app called? So I mean, if somebody wanted to start making these, what do we gotta do?
Okay, you're gonna have to send me the 5 easy payments of $59.95 first. Just kidding. Okay, the app is called Zoomerang, and what you're looking for is Deform AI. It is a text prompt thing where it basically, like all those videos, the way they got sent out or whatever, I had to text most all of that stuff in. It's easy though. Skull, crown, royal, boom, it did its thing. Some of them are easy, some of them you get a little bit more difficult with, but it's fun. I'll eventually stop, probably. Who knows? Probably not.
Right on. I don't know.
Yeah,
Keep making reels, man. Spray and pray.
Dude, I mean, honestly, I hate that the Reels bonuses stopped because I was actually taking part in that. I'm not going to say anymore.
I wasn't on Instagram before Reels bonuses was a thing, so I keep hearing about them, but I've never gotten the joy.
Well, cha-ching is basically what it was. They stopped.
See, my neighbors just chucked quarters from across the street to tell me to shut my garage door when I've got every tool running. So that's my bonus.
Just keep the door open and have them keep chunking change at you, man.
There you go, man.
Hey, you can even put you a nice little fountain out there for them to actually, take in.
Yeah, throw it in there and wish that I'd stop making this noise. That's perfect.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I lucked out. I've got a firefighter who's only here half the time, and I've got another woodworker who also has a CNC right across the street. So we basically just try and match pitches.
Hey, that is awesome. That is awesome. I don't have hardly anybody around me. I finally found one right before making this trip, but it's actually a dude that I've known for a couple of years, and they started making some cornhole boards. I was like, yeah, dude, I got all this stuff. You want me to help you? Whatever, you want to hook up? And so, hey, honestly, you might, we're not sure yet, but you might start seeing a lot of doghouses being built on my account even.
Sweet.
But that would be trying to, sell for like the neighborhood and stuff like that. We got a lot of dogs in our neighborhood that really just need not plastic doghouses.
Totally works.
A lot of pit bulls. And they're all super sweet, but they're rough on them houses.
And the age-old question of who did let the dogs out?
It would be you.
Who?
You.
Oh.
You let the dogs out. Way to go. So we've got 22 questions to cover. Oh, wow. And so some of these are probably going to be, okay, here you go. Ed wants to know if you could do a collab with anybody, who would it be and why?
Oh gosh. Okay. You know what? I'm happy to be here with Todd.
Oh, that was nice. But no, for real, who would you want to collab with?
I've actually done several collabs, and a few of the collabs I've done, it was actually more like, me just kind of gifting, something to somebody, type deal for them to kind of do something with, even keep for themselves. But I don't know. I've never really gotten to be just with another real wood turner without me having to teach. So I don't have to teach them anything except for don't use scissors with that.
Yeah. Well, that happened. I turned a pen with half of a pair of scissors on a dare.
Here comes another question.
4 months ago. All right. Oh, hey, here's one. If you could visit anyone's shop, who would it be and why?
I'm sorry, but DeResto's got it all the way. That shop is freaking amazing. Have y'all seen Making Fun on Netflix?
I have.
It was a great show, man. I want to be in that shop. I mean, the stained glass up at the top, man. That's just good stuff.
We got to get you out to Maker Camp, and then you can hang out with all the cool kids on Jimmy DeResta's farm.
Bro, yeah, for real.
And, a couple months ago, he posted that the house, his property's like right here, and the house like right here around the corner was for sale. I'm not gonna lie, I looked it up and I thought, I've never been to New York a day in my life. I wonder how my wife would feel if I just bought a house and moved us there.
I've been to New York City, and I mean, without throwing any shade towards anybody in the city, it was a fun experience, but I'm definitely not going back. That was way too many people for me. I'm a country boy. Come on.
Ed wants to know, what is your dream workshop? Is it the DeResta setup?
No. Take the DeResta setup and maybe double it.
More space.
More space. I definitely would like to have a lot of room to, do dump stuff, with wheels and, motors and stuff like that. And,
Yeah, no, it's important to have room for all of your activities.
Yeah, all the activities, man. I mean, I want to be able to build a half pipe and never use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got kids coming over all the time. I mean, I could watch them bust their ankles up all day long and laugh.
Nothing says fun like watching a preteen break their collarbone.
No, not break the collarbone. That was dangerous, but,
Our friend with the wooden mustache wants to know if we can convince you to make it to Maker Camp. That's a trip to New York, buddy.
That is a long trip on 15 to 17 mile per gallon truck that I got now. Matt, you know about the truck. Yeah, he heard me.
There you go.
He heard me. Yeah, it was, but honestly, I got a 99 Durango. It only had 100,000 miles on it with one owner. Never been in any accidents or anything. It had a little bit of rubbage up on a door or whatever. Somebody got a little too close to something, but
hey, man, rubbing is racing, right?
Rubbing is racing, right? I don't think they were racing, man. Oh, that's a heavy truck.
All right. Ed's just piling them in there tonight.
Right. Hand tools are power tools. So, especially since I built that first table, that table was honestly supposed to be kind of like a testament to see what I really, truly could do. And, I mean, I had a lot of hand tooling time. And I actually suffered from carpal tunnel in both of my wrists. Obviously, my dominant wrist more, way more. But I got to say that the hand tools are very, very nice. Especially if you got just a good, sharp plane. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, I'll have a piece and, I'll kind of do it the Japanese method or whatever, and I'll pull it. And I don't know, especially if my carpal tunnel's flaring up, getting that pulling actually kind of, I don't know, it kind of helps it a little bit. And it's not vibration from a power tool.
Okay, follow-up question. Is turning on a lathe hand tools or power tools?
It is absolutely both. Let's face it, the power tool is spinning the wood and not the metal bit that every other woodworker is used to. But we are hand pushing a solid piece of steel into a very fast spinning piece of wood. So,
yeah, one of these. Look at that. See, now we're bouncing.
Okay, no. By your definition,
even big stuff. We like shoving big things in fast spinning wood.
By your definition, you're pushing metal into the material. How would that be different than a saw, like a track saw? You're pushing the metal into the material with your hands.
Well, here's the difference. We're not sawing the wood. We
no power in here.
Yeah, we're not sawing the wood. We're actually carving the wood small layers at a time. So the stress that you would get out of a power tool like a saw is going to be 100 times more than what you're going to get on the lathe. If anything, if you got a real stressed out bowl or whatever, it's probably just going to pop off the lathe. But stand out of the way. You'll be all right.
Wear a face shield. Safety is sexy, Erik.
I am a spindle turner, sir.
Safety is still sexy.
Now,
Where
can
your
you
sports
lathe
at?
with
What's
power
your safety?
tools?
And okay, me saying that, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and acclaim I am a goofball. I say a lot of stuff. Yes, wear a face shield. I'm gonna do what I want though.
Where
And the second that I lose an eye, that's on me. But you know what?
Okay, look, man.
Got a wood shop.
In the 20 minutes leading up to the show tonight, we were turning a piece of elm.
Yeah, very, 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 very dusty.
It's a really dry piece of elm. It might be made out of concrete. Anyway, I made him put a face shield on. So,
And yes, and I wore the face shield until I got sweaty and then got out of the way.
yeah, then he got
I don't know. Then again, this lathe is way different than what I'm used to, and a little higher than I'm used to. That'll okay. So with lathe height, also, that can really play a huge part in safety matters for someone. Like personally, if I'm going to be on this one, I'm probably going to want at least a 2x4 to stand on.
You want me to get you?
Yeah, a little step ladder. Yeah, absolutely. Because hey, your thing is bolted to a 900-pound bench.
Yep.
That can't go nowhere.
Yep.
Here's one
Okay.
that Ed's got that I like. What is a project that you've made that you'll never make again, and why?
Oh, good question.
Ooh, very good question. Oh gosh. Ooh, I might need a minute to think about this one. Oh man.
All right.
If I could never make another wine bottle stopper, I would. They're easy to make and they're really fun, but like 90% of them look like sex toys. It makes me feel awkward.
I mean, hey, you know that's all in the matter of an opinion.
Hey, look, it's after 10. This
After
is still
10,
Sawdust
this is-
Talk after dark.
After dark. Oh, so we got the after dark going now.
Even kids on the West Coast should probably be in bed by now. So
Oh, okay, so we're good.
you can say the dirty words.
We can say the dirty words. See, I've been avoiding the dirty words this whole time.
Don't
I'm a Navy vet. Come on, I got a sailor's mouth, man. All this non-cussing, non-utilization of the slang terms.
Yes.
Look at me, still not cussing and still making every bit of sense.
You're doing a super
I am
job.
doing a banger job.
That's-
Look at that. I said banger. That's not
There
even
you
a cuss word.
All right.
Don't use the dirty words, because we can't guarantee that listeners on other platforms are not watching in the harsh light of day.
Oh,
Harsh lighted.
great.
Oh, using
That's
H
right.
word there.
Yeah.
Easy, buddy.
Great. While we think about a project that Erik has made but doesn't want to make again, why don't you plug all of our different platforms while we're thinking about it?
Yeah, so we've been growing at Sawdust Talk. So if you don't have time to see us on the live, or you want to watch any of our older episodes, we are now available on, let's see if I remember them all, the podcast platform for Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play Music, or Google Podcasts, Radio Public, YouTube, and there's one that I'm missing.
The first one was Spooderfy, right? Or was that Apple?
Yep, nope, that was Spotify.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That covers
I think
that's a hard five right there.
That covers most of them. And then
We have our archive on our channel also. So I suppose we can do Sawdust Talk during the day as well. But it's live at night.
Live at night.
All right, man. So what have you made that you never want to make again?
Okay, so I'm not. I'm gonna try to be brutally honest with myself here. I really have not made anything that I wouldn't particularly not care to make again.
What about them Christmas trees?
But I really, really, really would be okay if I never had to make a magic wand again.
Yeah.
But the whole thing. So we actually made a bunch of magic wands for Camp Corey, which was a whole big thing, and that was really good. But I don't know, figuring out how I started with them, I just scratched that itch.
I don't know, man. 12-year-olds love magic wands.
It's cool. Hey, they work for me, though. They work for me. That's actually how I helped build my account really good, too, is I was doing a bunch of magic tricks on here being goofy.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll like this. My closest experience to any lathe work is I did make my daughter a magic wand out of Purple Heart, and I chucked it into the drill and just pulled it and sanded the whole thing. So
You got the 80 grit gouge out. Yeah, buddy.
it's as close as I've ever gotten.
That's right. Ed says Expelliarmus.
Oh yeah, and also Justin Addy wanted to make sure that everybody knows that the podcast is also available on Only Dan's.
Oh, only Dan. It's nice.
Only Dan?
Yep.
That's the thing.
It's
Yeah, it's a place
website.
for
I would probably
gamers to meet up at.
missearch that the first time. After night.
Anyway, Team Chamfer or Team Roundover?
Ooh, yeah.
Wait, what?
Chamfer or roundover?
Chamfer around. Oh,
It's getting into the deep cuts.
Oh, so actually, I got to do both on the last little project that I did. It was the gong mallet rack. I had to make some lattice work, and I had to do a base and a top. And I was doing some layered router stuff and everything. I did a chamfer on top and roundover on the bottom. But I like a chamfer.
This
I
is
like
the
it,
question. This is the question where friends are made and lost. And so, with that, I'm going to just go ahead and disconnect because
Oh, that's so
roundovers are better.
ruthless. Bye.
It's okay. I'll still be me. I'll still pick chamfer every time.
There you go. All right, pull another one out of the hat. Can you see them, or am I?
Gee, Ed is busy. We need to get Ed working on these a little sooner sometime. What would be a good starter lathe for someone starting off and turning?
Okay, so actually, honestly, especially for you know here in the States, if price budget wise is an issue, the Harbor Freight actually has a good full size lathe that does have a swivel headstock for right under $500.
They're closing that out, though, man. It is going away.
I mean, I found one on sale for just under $400, and I picked one up myself, so I even got one of those. But it doesn't have, okay, any wood turner, especially nowadays, wants to have a variable speed drive. If you have to change the belts, it's probably going to be too much working for you to really be able to have, good fun with. So you want to be able to change the speed. But you got electronic infinitely variable speed drive, and you got a Reeves drive. A Reeves drive is actually two pulleys that separate and compress together on your belt that'll actually change the speed. And that is exactly what that central machinery lathe has. The only thing that I would say with that one is that you kind of have to take a little bit of extra care with them because they can get a little stiff. But, pop open the back case and a little WD-40, you're good to go.
Jet 1221, if you could
Jet
swing it.
1221. If you got $1,000 to spend, Jet 1221, absolutely. I swear by that lathe. It is my absolute favorite. I mean, it's what I constantly turn it on. But yeah, if you got the money for one of those, definitely one of those. And they even got a 10. What is it? A 1015?
Oh yeah, 80 pennies.
Yeah. It's considered a mini lathe, where the 1221 is considered a mid-D lathe.
Braden, you are.
Let's say, is he here still with us?
I don't know. He might be frozen.
Oh,
We're going to keep fielding questions until he logs out and then logs back in again, which will be fun.
All right.
Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. Now we're really going to make friends or break.
Oh, boy. Y'all really wanted to ask me that question.
Yes, we do.
Oh, goody. Can we get Braden back first?
All right, buddy. The question is carbide cutters or traditional steel?
Okay. For the very beginner, first starting out, especially if you're on a budget, there's absolutely nothing wrong with carbides, because the true testament is your finished product. It is what can you honestly make. Who cares what kind of blade you use? However, traditional all the way for me. It is. I'm one that kind of sees more into the inner workings art of the wood turning itself. Proper grain cutting direction. Everything. What tool does what bevel helps do what, and it's just the more knowledge that I've learned with it, the more I don't know. I feel more in one with wood turning, because that. But I feel like with traditional gouges you can get that, where with carbides you can in a sense, it really depends on your personality, I guess, to get that proper sense of accomplishment with it. But honestly, as long as you're turning and you enjoy it and you're doing something nice, I think it really doesn't matter. But I will say, if you don't learn the traditional, you're going to go through sandpaper like crazy, and you're not going to like it. With traditional, though, you do got to learn to sharpen, and that's a whole nother investment. But it just, I don't know, it just kind of makes the whole circle for me with traditional. Traditional is really where it's at, and it's so much more fun because the ribbons are so much bigger, and it's less dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're still going to get a lot of dust, but it is less dusty because with carbides you'll get a lot more tear out if you're not careful, and they take a very, very, very light touch. Where gouges, you can literally kind of do a good carving action. With carbides, it can be a little hard to do that because they are scrapers, is what they are.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm faster with steel tools or carbide, but I feel faster with steel tools.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Like I have to pull out my carbide sometimes if I feel like I kind of get in a little bit of a rough spot that maybe I particularly don't feel like I got a gouge with the proper angle on, especially like, doing like, some hollowing.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like
there's some things that carbide can do.
Yep.
That steel can't.
Exactly.
Like hollow forming or like tiny things.
And a lot of people have actually brought up to me that with carbides they feel like they can get better detail work with. Where honestly, I have to say absolutely not. With traditional, you got to have the proper gouges. It can't be just one thing for everything. But I mean, honestly, I feel like I get way better smooth flowing lines with traditional. So I think that pretty much answered that question.
Yeah, I'd
pretty thoroughly.
I'd say so.
So
that is. Whoa,
we heard some.
Dude, you're in there? What?
yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Can you see me?
No, you were still a circle on a black screen.
Yep, you are not even I guess whatever the pinwheel on Instagram is.
He hit the metamorphosis of Instagram.
The swirly.
Been, great for me. It's all running smooth on my side.
There you are.
And now it works. I don't think I'm overheating. I got air conditioning.
Hey man, you introduced that black screen with a smile. I like that.
I've heard,
That's
I've
good.
heard the
Okay.
The last 5 minutes. I don't know. For a second there, it was like I had 2 levels of audio, and then everything broke, and I could hear everything, but I was not in the screen, so I just shut down.
Gotcha. Well, glad you heard the carbide versus traditional, because that one can be a snaky one, especially with what you would consider old school turners and new school turners. It's almost a cult. It's almost cult like, really.
So what I heard there was when it comes to turning tools, much like pizza crust, traditional is best.
Absolutely.
Certainly better than whatever those people in Chicago think their casserole is. It's not pizza. That's a casserole.
Here's a follow-up question, I think, to your Harbor Freight lathe question. What are your thoughts on Harbor Freight lathe tools?
Okay. The Harbor Freight lathe tools right here, they are actually not bad. They are cheaper steel, and you will definitely notice the difference between Harbor Freight tools and, Crown tools that are cryogenically hardened. And even Thompson tools, they got, special hardening process and everything. With the Harbor Freight tools, they kind of streamline that process a little bit, and it makes them, they dull out a little quicker, but you can sharpen them and they will work.
Yes.
So
They get real sharp, the purple handle.
but here's something to think about that I don't know if you've ever thought about it before. So check it out. Let's say we're turning a piece. It can be a spindle or a ball, it doesn't matter. And it's going 1,500 RPMs. After 5 minutes, you have drug that piece of steel over a mile.
Yeah. At 750 RPM, it's with like a bowl that's like 10 inches.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mile every 90 seconds or something.
Yeah. It really depends on the size piece. But, yeah, these tools are drugged for thousands of miles before they are done, if you know what I'm saying. But that's why you also, with traditional, you want to invest in a good sharpening system. I'm a fan of the Pro Edge. My boy here's got, the whetstone, the CBNs, and all that, which is every bit great. They kind of both give you two different types of, I don't know. I feel like, not necessarily two different types of sharpen or anything. Just, I don't know. With the Pro Edge, it's stupid quick. I'm sharp like that, back turning. But
You watched me sharpen 3 tools and the time it took for you to make one crusty pass around the outside of the bowl.
this thing is horrible.
It's so hard. We need to just chuck it in the
Like I'm about ready just to drop kick it or something. No, I don't want to do that. I'm
You're
gonna
going to break your shoe.
I'm gonna break my shoe.
Yes.
I'm gonna break my shoe.
Yeah, it's made out of pecan-crete.
But concrete. Yeah.
Not if you're wearing Timberland Pro synthetic steel-toed boots.
That's
not sponsored.
right. Compliments of Funkmaster Flex.
I got
right?
Puma.
There we go. All right. Rockler or Woodcraft, dude?
I've never been to either.
All right, well, I'm taking you to both tomorrow.
I have never been to either. Okay, I'm about to do your wish.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love spiders, but he's making me kill them.
How big was that thing?
It was itty bitty.
Oh, don't worry about the itty-bitty ones.
Well, I mean, itty bitty enough to the size that you had said, something like, whatever.
Yeah.
They got
Okay.
What
All right.
was the best piece of advice that you were ever given about woodworking?
Thank you for finding that before I could find it.
the
What is the best piece of advice, there you are, that you were given about woodworking? And then we...
okay. Have patience. Have patience and fail often. And I'm probably screaming the generic thing that a lot of us all do. But, I mean, the more that you end up messing up, the more you learn. And so the way that I see it is sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That's how I put it.
Slow down.
Slow down. Yeah, it's okay to slow down. Sometimes I find myself literally looking at something for like hours before even getting into it, But, I mean, if you don't have the patience for it, then you might do that one wrong cut in the wrong order or whatever while in milling process, and then boom, your piece is done for because stress. You got to think about all of it. Wood is alive, and it is wonderful.
Oh man,
Hell wood.
TJ with him standing and staring at stuff for hours, you're gonna have your work cut out for yourself if you take him to Rockler and Woodcraft tomorrow.
I mean,
be there
fun
for 3
times are going to be
days.
had by all.
I'm a what do we call it? Amazon woodworker.
There you go. And you're
Literally built my shop off Amazon. Not gonna lie to you. And Home Depot
nice.
and a little Harbor Freight.
There you go. All right. We got a few more minutes left, boys and girls. Oh, this was Nancy's question. What about Harbor Freight lathe tools? Totally fine. They get sharp.
They get the job done.
They don't stay sharp as long, but they get really sharp.
I still have one that's basically kind of the same steel that I still use today.
Here you go. What is a making discipline that you would love to try but you haven't done yet?
Ooh, okay. Forging, actually. Metal forging, like blacksmithing work. I really don't think I can handle it, but I really don't want to try glass blowing. I would destroy that. So I figure swinging a hammer around might sound a little bit like fun.
I mean,
Well, with glass blowing, there's also still rotating. The piece is still rotating. It might be the closest thing to lathe work.
Every time that I see glass blowing, I start to sweat. But
Yeah,
I should for a blacksmithing shop too. So I'm really kind of being a catch-22 right now. But yeah, I really have never cared for glass blowing. I think it's absolutely cool, and I would love to do a collab with a glass blower. But I think I would ultimately like to try blacksmithing first.
works for
So
me.
Maker Camp.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Timber framing too. Let's go.
Let's get a forge.
Let's do it.
Let's get a forge.
You're gonna have me down here every weekend. It's a long drive, buddy.
It's all right. The commute is worthwhile. We get to set metal on fire.
Have you heard that the bird is the word?
Have you heard this?
I am the Red Raven, right? I am the word. I am the one. I am the word. Okay, I am that. I am that.
He is that guy.
I am that guy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're
The bird is
late
the
night. I'm
word,
trying not to
so-
cuss. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric's had a long day with a lot of travel, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And I fed him a proper St. Louis dinner, so he's probably got the full tummy nights also. So, yeah. Hey, this shop is pretty reasonable with one dude in it, but man, I'm sweating tonight. How about
Let's give us a good one, an interesting one. I don't know. I can't see him.
I think
we've hit
I
a
think
lot
that
of these.
That might need to be our highlight clip from this reel. Boy, there's two
What that?
dudes in here, and I'm sweating tonight.
Yep, that's what happens when you mess with me, buddy. Yeah, I feel like we've knocked out a bunch of these or talked about them.
Here's one. What is your goal for your business or your social media account?
I want to get rich.
Is it working?
I like that.
I mean, you know, I'm feeling better about myself slowly.
That's good.
The money is still
You're getting rich with emotional growth.
money. There's always more money to be made.
Your heart grows to the size of 10 Eriks plus 2 every time
That's
you post.
dangerous.
Yeah,
That is
it's a big
dangerous.
heart. That's a big heart.
It's a big heart, dude.
Is that little TJ Luhu that I hear over there? Who's not
That's
more than
right,
2?
little TJ Lou, who was no bigger than 2.
Oh, see, now we're gonna need to get your hair grown out and do like that thing.
Yep, I think you've got the hair for that.
I'm actually growing my hair back out. I had it down to about here before I had cut it, and then I started my Instagram. It was still about down to here, but I had the sides shaved off, and then I had just kind of took it off, and now it's
Liberty Spikes.
It's hot out here. My hair's a mess.
All right, boys and girls. I think we've asked all the questions. I think we've had a wholesome and delightful Bert and Ernie learning experience this evening.
Bert and Ernie on 2 screens.
That's right. Unprecedented, live and in person, host and guest on the same cam.
With
Braden, do we have anybody that we need to thank for this show outside of the 3 of us?
No. Obviously, thank you to Erik for joining us. And then, as always, we've got to thank our sponsor, George Supply Co. So
Great. Okay.
They are your place for CA glue and shirts. They got shirts.
Yeah, they do.
So
wait, is that a reverse Sawdust Talk shirt?
No, it's a regular direction Sawdust shirt. I never even considered reversing it, and I told Scott I needed to order a banner, and he's like, "Oh, you want a reverse one so it's the right way on camera?" And it took me like 5 minutes of looking at my other sign before I'm like, "Wait a minute, that makes a lot of sense."
Yeah. I thought for a second you had a reverse Sawdust Talk shirt. I was like, whoa.
I'm gonna start custom ordering all of my T-shirts in reverse. So I've got an on-screen and an off-screen one.
You got to do one where you just flip it up.
There you go. So that you just pull it over your head so that we can read Sawdust Talk.
That's a high-risk, high-reward if I grab both layers of T-shirts or not.
It's okay.
So
Just start your little line right there, have it flat down, and then flap up, and then it's still down.
I'll just get it reversed.
Get creative, man. We're makers.
Anyway, no, thank you to George Supply Co. as always for sponsoring.
We have a fun guest coming up on July 10th that
12th.
I think we can talk about. What?
July 12th.
July 12th, sorry. Let's talk about July 12th guest.
Yeah, so July 12th, we actually have the Surf Prep team joining us on Sawdust Talk. So they're going to go over their story. It's a family-run business. They make some pretty awesome sanders. So we're going to have Hannah and I think Skylar is going to join us. So we might have multiple people on one screen again. But yeah, that'll be a good time. So everybody should definitely make sure to join for that episode, which will be easier to do on the East Coast and in Central because starting next week, we are also moving from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central. So an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm. So our East Coasters can make it in, and our West Coasters can complain that we're interrupting late dinner. But yeah,
yep.
That is. These are awesome updates. Definitely check us out online. If you didn't make it to the live, thank you so much for joining us this evening, Erik. Thank you for being at my house.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, there you go. Braden.
I'll be here all week.
It was lovely as always. Ed, thank you for posting all of our handles in the chat. Please follow along with us. Yeah. We'll see you all next week. Same bat time. Wait, not same bat time. Next week we're an hour early, right?
Earlier bad time.
That's right. 1 hour prior, 9 p.m. Central next week, so I don't get to say same bad time, but same bad channel. We'll be here on Sawdust Talk. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
See you guys.